Morning. Okay. Let's see. What do we have today? 1 second. Let's see. Is my stream running? Yup. Okay, let's start with the first calendar, as we do usually. We are in 7 June. Okay. July, my bad. 7 July. We have low impact news. This week is generally going to be very low volatility. It's not going to be like crazy volatility. Tuesday we have unemployment claims. But other than that, it's going to be a pretty low volatility week. So we can not massively expect those high RRs. We can look for 2 to 3 R. Today again, kind of low probability. We don't have any massive news, and this is going to be present for the whole week generally. So let's see what is price really doing here on DXY. Let's analyze, right? I see bullish order flow clearly. We formed 2 ranges, now we're forming the third, on the way to target this and this. So these are our 2 objectives for DXY. Maybe for early week, maybe for the whole week, we don't really know, but generally our objective is this high. We have 2 gaps to clear bullish structure getting respected. Now we have this 4-hour AVG here being formed, so we have really clear bullish order flow. Let's start Notion and let's save our analysis there. If Notion wants to load, please. Notion, hello. I don't know, Notion sometimes bugs out. Let's see. Monday, okay. Until Notion loads, we're gonna look at the hourly. Hourly, we kind of inverse this and the gap here, but it's kind of not structurally very clean. We might form a gap here, and from that gap we look to target. I think it's more likely to happen. So yeah, generally Asia that kind of keeps getting played throughout the highs. It's not a very balanceable Asia, if that makes sense with what I'm saying, right? But we'll see. Euro's way slower compared to, but we still have this buy side, but I don't know when it's gonna get reached. We're probably still gonna draw lower here until Geo looks way better for sellers here. Inverse with gap, and we're waiting for this gap to target this low. So Geo's gonna be instantly a pair we're looking to trade. AU extremely weaker compared to yeah. Also UK looks bullish here at the whole of this order block. So we're just gonna make an idea before our Notion loads basically. So let's go on the 4-hour. We have clear bullish structure. That's what I'm gonna write. There's no need to write anymore. Asia doesn't look really balanceable here. Asia doesn't look really balanceable on the 4-hour VG. It looks more like it's gonna print a 1-hour gap and hold that towards the highs. We have clear draw liquidity. Yeah, we're probably gonna hold this, but if we managing common retest here, that's also decent. So nothing much to say about the DXY, it's just bullish structure. Let's see Euro. Euro's a bit more weirder, I would say. While 4-hour doesn't present a lot of information or a lot of structure, for me it just looks like we're failing and starting to go lower. That's basically what it looks like, and it aligns with DXY. 4-hour just looks like it's gonna start breaking lower. Not much structure here, but generally for me, very sure if we're coming in, aligning with DXY. Let's see, hourly we just swapped this massive buy side, and I think we also swapped this, I think this was an FP. So we swapped previous daily high liquidity, and we swapped NFP highs, and now we have a bearish gap here to potentially follow, right? But we're lacking structure, so this trade in theory it's invalid because we have only one gap. Oh, I mean we do have this inverse, but I don't know, I wouldn't really prefer to trade euro today. I would prefer to trade GU. Swap buy sell liquidity we have from Friday, and also NFP high, so pretty high confluence on going lower. I mean one confluence and the gap is the second. Technically is valid, so just look to keep targeting lower. Generally not my best pair for today, but it does look decent. I cannot tell it doesn't look decent, but I don't know if I feel like when I look at it, I'll probably want to trade you way better, and this gap looks way better. So we're probably gonna be oriented towards definitely GU, because GU has a lot more structure. Right? We have big 4 hour, and very important, we have this small 4 hour here that give us structure, and now we also have this, so we have really good confluence here, and it generally looks way better. It's the same as when we traded GU on one day when GU went to 15 hour and euro went to like 34. GU way better on being bearish. Buy side sweep into 4 hour AVG, then 4 hour respected and 4 hour printed. So clear 4 hour order flow on being bearish, reaching for those low resistance lows. But GU is definitely going to be one of the pairs I'm looking to trade today. This 4 hour here gets refined into this. I really like this gap, but I don't know if we're going to have momentum to potentially retrace that deep. That's the thing. Maybe we're going to have a delayed model, since Asia already displaced massively, so we're probably gonna have like a New York setup here. This gap I really like. I also like how order flow looks. On 1 hour we have that order block respected on Asia open. Gap is in very high prices, and price right now is pretty displacive, so it's a very high chance this setup's gonna occur in New York. Yeah, that's it pretty much. Pretty high chance we're gonna see it in New York, or we just keep displacing, but GU definitely becomes one of the pairs we're looking to trade. AU, there's not really any point to be analyzing euro. AU, it just looks very impulsive. We don't really want to trade in this big ass voided range, so yeah. I mean, also UK doesn't look the cleanest, we can definitely say that, and it's kind of respecting this, but for now it's looking bullish. Again, not holding a lot of structure here, not holding a lot of structure, but clear bullish order flow for me. And yeah, that's pretty much it. In terms of volatility, we have inverse, and we have an inverse, another inverse here. We have this order block, which I like here. I do like this order block, how it got respected, and now we're getting that inverse here, and we're getting probably a gap form. So for me, this looks like a valid setup to just target this low resistance highs. Probably just gonna be this high. So for me, I really like really like how that order block looks, and now we are getting the inversion higher to look to target is really high. It's that simple. I really like how we failed the lower higher low here. We start breaking higher, but in terms of confluence, we have one buy sell liquidity. It's kind of weird, right? I would probably consider this valid. It's just that it's a weird price action, so I don't know if it's weird for us to even consider or pay attention to the setup, but we're gonna do that anyways. I'm not saying I'm gonna trade, but we're definitely gonna pay attention to it. So for me, DAX here definitely still looks bearish. Definitely inverse, and now we're getting, yeah, it looks really good on being bearish. So and DAX instantly becomes top 2 of the pairs we're looking to trade today. We have inverse getting respected, inverse here, inverse getting respect, very short the flow, we're very easily reaching lower here. That's what I see, and that's that lower high formation here, so that's really good for us. DAX is gonna be one of the pairs. DAX is really good here. I really like it. I really like it how we are failing off premium inverse, and there is an inverse as a trigger. We just reached the trigger, so technically we can just look at lower prices from here. Technically we can just straight up look at lower prices from this. 1 hour again doesn't present a lot of structure. 1 hour doesn't present a lot of structure, but I would probably, yeah, we need some type of displacement. Like, I don't think this inverse is just better off to wait either for an Asian rate or for some type of initiation. So here, even though the setup is valid, we need to wait for something. We need to wait for something here, at least a 50-minute swing or some type of Asian high rate to be able to trade. We do not need the 1 hour gap, but we still need some lower time frame influence to trigger lower prices. That's all pretty clear though, right? Now let's see UJ, very bullish again. Not probably gonna be again a New York setup. Is gonna look really good if we manage to kind of form that retrace of London, come back, sweep these lows, and then look to target this high. So I'm gonna keep that in mind. GJ looks a bit more decent, but I feel like I don't know. 4 hour rebalanced equilibrium, clearly, yeah, rebalanced equilibrium here, and got that inverse retest of the inverse, and with this 1 hour gap we are technically pretty clear on going higher, right? Yeah, GJ is a good pair here. I don't even need an analysis. GJ is gonna become one of the good pairs. We're looking to trade basically off this high, but I feel like it has a chance of failing off this, so we just gotta be careful at that at this FVG right here. But overall it just still looks good to keep buying. I think on the 50-minute looks good, like a delay trending, like a trending Asia. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's see gold. Gold is pretty bearish, but yeah, it's very nicely bearish actually. It's very clean order flow happening here on gold. Very clean order flow. This is really nice hard time frame rated liquidity rebalance, had one more sweep above the highs in bearish FVG to bearish FVG. So this is very clear. Very short of flow. We might use this low to retrace, and then we're very easily gonna go lower. So 4 hour on gold looks really clean. Really clean high time frame here on gold on being bearish easily. That's pretty much it, which means we're gonna refine our zone to this, because it's just the 1 hour gap. We're very likely gonna use objective navigation, which means we're gonna use this objective to retrace, and from this we're gonna navigate towards the next objective, which is probably gonna be around here. So yeah, gold also becomes one of the valid pairs for today. We have pretty much a lot of valid pairs, but I would consider GU being the most valid one, DAX, which is probably what we're gonna look to trade, GJ, which is of course decent, and gold. GU we're gonna leave last, because yeah, it's gonna take time to print. I don't know, euro, UK is probably better off not to trade. It's probably better off not to trade UK. So if I feel iffy a bit about the setup. Yes, this is gonna be for New York as well, UJ. So we're kind of left with like 5 pairs for today, which is fine. It's usually kind of more than enough. We want to see how London Open behaves here on DAX. I do really like DAX. I do like GJ. It's just a bit, it's kind of in the middle. We didn't have fully confirmed bullish order flow, but I still think we're probably gonna draw towards this inverse before potentially going lower. So yeah, this Asian gap looks good. Sell side rate inverse here, it looks good for a potential setup to buy. DAX, I do want to see some influence. Gold also looks decent. So we have a few pairs for today. but I don't know if I want to short on gold. Euro probably not gonna be what I'm trading in, because we don't really have confluence and it's not a value I need to confluence. I mean, we do have buy sell liquidity rate and 1 hour gap and inverse, but yeah, I don't know if I want to trade euro. Does look good like an Asian rate. We do have this trend line liquidity, so I'm gonna pay attention to euro, and kind of feels like iffy if I would say that, but we're gonna place an alert on this. Geo is gonna take time. Gold, we're also gonna place an alert here, and GG we're gonna place an alert, and DAX is the pair that I like the most, but DAX needs to, we need to pay attention to DAX to see how we behave. Do we form something? I don't really like how lower time frame looks necessarily. I would still like to see that Asian rate, but it's not a necessity. We swept London highs here, and we had that rebalance of the supply, so all we might get would be, we might get something like this, and then we look to target. This is gonna be pretty low resistance. I mean, not really low resistance, because we have this, which is slightly dangerous, I would say, because it's also this area. So yeah, this area is definitely gonna be a bit of resistance around these new week opening gap fill. It's gonna be pretty pretty high resistance, so we look to target here, next target here, and next target is gonna be this right here, and that's gonna probably be your idea. 3 targets, this is how I usually trade. And yeah, we're gonna wait. I'm gonna go smoke really fast and be ready for London and see. I do like trending Asia, how trending Asia looks here. I just don't like GJ. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, Geo is a bit more likely to just keep displacing from here. Euro, we might see that. I just don't know yet if I want to trade it, because we don't have a lot of structure here. Even on 15-minute, we do have this really small gap here. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see. I'm gonna smoke really fast and I'm gonna come back. we got today. So probably gonna look realistically. We have DAX, we have GJ, we have gold, and we have GU. Euro is still iffy. I'm gonna monitor, but I don't want to trade the setups anymore because the setups are exactly what kept me break even for a while. Those setups that are iffy, that you're not that sure about. You know what I mean? Like this is lack structure, a lot of structure. So just about trading those setups that I really am confident in. So now I'm gonna rely heavily on intuition here because the setup is already valid. We just gotta align lower time frame on a good entry, if that makes sense, and a good timing. We might again come sweep, or we might hold this and from here break lower. I don't really see price going bullish here, but it might happen of the new week opening gap fill. I also want to watch what Yuki is doing. Yuki might work as well of the retest of the retest of this. I just don't. Okay, why did my timing changed? Or is yeah, I think UK is stuck here. I don't know why. Sometimes that shit happens. Sometimes indices get stuck for some reason. We don't even have that inverse. I mean, this is the inverse. So we'll see. I just don't like to trade. I'm gonna choose only the best setups from now on because I'm not here to prove anything. That's what changed a lot in my mindset. I'm here just to express my skill. I don't need reality to change anymore. I don't need to turn profitable to feel whole or feel proud of myself. I'm just here expressing my skill. This is my path, and I'm gonna just be here and do my thing. Just be here because I enjoy it and choose the setups that kind of are aligned with who I am, if that makes sense. I don't want to force anything. When you come from a space of not needing to prove, not needing to turn profitable, not needing to win a trade, not needing to pass a phase or pass an account, that's when you take the best trade, and that's when you actually are gonna pass an account. I have a quote: when turning profitable is gonna happen when you're no longer emotionally dependent upon turning profitable, if that makes sense. When you don't need to be profitable to feel whole, when you don't need to be profitable to feel proud of yourself or worthy. Yes, that's the energy of lack, to be honest, and that's what's blocking your manifestation right now. And that's what's gonna affect your trading, because when you come from a space of proving and wanting to win and finally, I don't know, pass this account, for example, that's when you start forcing trades and taking low probability setups, instead of being patient and taking trades that are purely just aligned with your skill and what you like to trade. I don't know if this makes sense, but this is what I've been going through. I've been going through kind of dismantling this identity based on performance. Like, I need to grind 24/7 to feel worthy, or I need to grind 24/7 to make this shit happen. That's not true. Like, there comes a moment in your journey when it's all about letting your foot off the gas. You know, you stop accelerating, you stop grinding. It's just about surrendering to God. That's the point I'm reaching into, and that's kind of generally the last step you need to take before actually manifesting. Just surrendering and letting things come to you, going with the flow of life. Because the fastest way the fastest way to reach your goals is by flowing with God's plan. When you're forcing, when you're doing all of those things, what you're doing is not going with God's plan. What you're doing is stopping God's plan instead of flowing with it. And what you're doing when forcing and grinding more, even if your body called for rest, you're just delaying your success. God already has the perfect plan for you in place for you to turn profitable. It's just about you following it and letting it unfold. You don't need to know when it's gonna happen. You just trust that whenever it's gonna be the perfect time. It's such a big mindset shift, and it's such a big frequency shift from a complete lack to complete abundance, right? You're waiting for things to come to you. You're not. Like, this is what I've been going through recently, kind of, as I said, dismantling that identity based on I need to perform or I fall behind, or so on. Like, this last period, it was really weird, right? I was getting forced to rest and be fine to rest. Every time I wanted to start grinding or doing something productive, it's like God was taking all my energy away and was saying, nah, you're resting now. Like it was generally forcing me to rest, and so I can learn to be fine with resting. Because being in alignment or being in your path doesn't mean you always grind or backtest or whatever. Being in alignment is doing what God wants you to do. If God wants me to rest, I'm gonna rest. That's the fastest way to success, not forcing when your body calls for rest. I went through so many spiritual lessons this period, and I'm so grateful for them because it changed how I see things, and it changed how I feel about myself. Because it makes such a huge difference, right? When you're no longer emotionally dependent upon seeing reality change. That's when manifesting is gonna happen. Okay, but gold is stuck as well. Okay. Why are these pairs stuck, man? Like, what is he doing, bruh? What is he doing? Where is he stuck? I don't know why some indices sometimes get stuck randomly on TradingView, but I guess that's fine. I guess. Yeah, we're still gonna wait for this hourly gap here. If we take it, it's fine. If we don't, we don't. Like now in the space of, if I don't see a good setup, I'm not executing. I want to take trades that are exactly how are these. When I saw this, I knew, okay, this is a very good trade. I'm taking the heck out of it. This is what I'm waiting for, a trade that I'm highly confident in, when my intuition or God is telling me, okay, enter that shit right now, enter it. You know what I mean? Taking high probability trades. Here we're gonna watch how we behave, but I'm again not in a hurry. If I don't see anything I like, I'm not gonna execute. That's it, even though the trade is valid or whatever. Bro, Euro stuck as well. What is happening, bro? What is this? Okay, it ended up displacing anyway, so we don't really care. But I don't know why, what the fuck is happening, why TradingView pairs are getting stuck, but yeah, whatever. We're seeing, so it's such a huge mindset shift, and this was what I was going through, and I'm so grateful for it. And if I didn't go in -8% drawdown, I wouldn't have learned any of those things. Because when you're confident and when you're trusting, even in the deepest, in the eye of the storm, in rock bottom, that's when things are gonna change. Because that's how I was in -8% drawdown. I was still trusting that no matter what happened, it was God's will. If I pass the account, if I recover from here, I'm gonna recover and I'm gonna win this account. If I don't, and if I lose it, it's completely fine. I'm gonna have the next account, and that's the one I'm gonna pass. So it's just about not forcing what you want, just going with flow. Yeah, it's a lot of spiritual shit, bro. But it's really important. Like this in trading is extremely important, and in any part of your life, it's extremely important to surrender and let go. And let go of trying to force whatever results you want. Let go of all these things. Just let go and just flow. That's very important, especially for me, because I'm a highly intuitive person and I'm a highly intuitive trader. So I need to flow. What is blocking intuition from flowing? It's your desires, or whatever your desires, you wanting to pass the account. That's gonna block your intuition from flowing. Does that make sense? Your desires, your wantings, your emotional state, all of these, what are you gonna do is block flow. And flow is the fastest way to achieve success. That's pretty much it. Because you're going with God's plan. God's plan is the fastest way to success that it's ever gonna be. And you just gotta surrender to His will. If He wants you to rest, rest. Right? And rest and still feel worthy about yourself. Taking a day off, resting if your body calls for it, doesn't mean you're falling out of alignment, or doesn't mean you're being lazy. It's just taking the right step. We'll see if DAX does something here. I would still want to see, I don't know, kind of price drag a bit hard here, but I don't know if we're gonna have this. GJ looks like a New York setup, GU looks like a New York setup, and I think gold as well. Like they all look like New York setup. So I don't think we're gonna have much trades today for London. Euro again, I don't really want to look for that shit. Yeah, I don't know why they're stuck. UK and Euro are stuck apparently on TradingView, but Euro ended up displacing anyway lower, so we don't want to force any shit. See, we end up displacing. Now we're kind of forming a gap. I was kind of expecting it because we did have this inverse here, so we didn't need to come in that hourly there. Now maybe it can be a valid trade, but this means we gotta wait another hour to wait for that gap to form, and then we can look to trade. It looked bearish for me as we swept new NFP highs. We swept NFP highs here and we swept Friday highs, so it made sense to kind of start printing bearish. Overall order flow looks bearish. We had this bearish range. Now we're probably gonna start dwelling lower towards sell side, but yeah, now we have a bit more confluence, so euro kind of becomes valid. So I don't know why this fuck ass pairs got stuck. Apparently, I don't know, trading view sometimes does this shit, but we're still gonna wait. But we need to wait for 1 more hour for this hourly gap to get completely formed before us being valid to trade. So still gonna choose only the best pairs, only the pairs that I like, and that's how I'm gonna achieve profitability. And I'm confident that I'm gonna achieve profitability as long as I'm focused on just being here, expressing my skill, not proving anything. I'm already whole as I am. I don't need to prove anything. I don't need to turn profitable to feel whole or feel happy. I don't need any of those things. I don't need anything to change to feel happy. I'm fine with where I am right now. I'm going through a lot of spiritual lessons, and I'm grateful for them because I learned some really important things that make you unshakable in the eye of the storm. Because if you're in the rock bottom and you're still trusting and you're still not getting affected by results, that's when you become unshakable, and that's when nothing can shake you, know, and not any bad results you can ever get. So as I said, this is probably gonna be a New York day. I'm still gonna sit here and wait a bit, but I would much rather sleep because I'm kind of tired, but I'm still gonna wait regardless. I think this is gonna be a really nice New York setup here. Really nice New York setup. We're probably gonna react off this temporarily, use this to retrace, and then of that retrace we're gonna displace, boom boom. I don't know if we're gonna have that much volatility today. As I said, this week is probably lower probability week, so just for fun I might take a demo trade here just to target that POI. Yeah, just to target this POI just for fun, just anticipate the retracement, if that makes sense. But it's just gonna be like random shit, you know what I mean? Yeah, just to not get bored, because okay, market it apparently, or I don't know what happened, but yeah. It's probably gonna be a New York day, or we start dwelling lower. We're kind of struggling to break higher here, so we might still hold that. For me, tax I do really like. We have a 4-hour M, but this is just very short of flow. It's very clean, very short of flow here. We do have this bias still intake, but it doesn't fucking matter. We had 4-hour inverse, retest the inverse again, another inverse here, and now we're retesting it. So this is just very structure. This is just very short of flow. Now we just want to see if we hold from this, and we also swept London highs, so this is good. If we start dwelling lower, like even if we see a gap here, depending on how good it looks, we can straight up just be looking at sellers. But it depends, bruh. And I'm gonna do live streaming in English because this is just my path. I'm not gonna do streams in Romanian. This just to grow faster. Yeah, growth is gonna happen faster if I do streams in Romanian, but that's not really my path, and my goal is not to grow, is to honor my path. Reaching a point where I go global, I'm gonna need to speak English. I can't speak Romanian. Like, I grow faster. Let's say I love your stream, bro. Keep pushing. Thank you, man. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate you. I don't know what I want to say. Like, streaming Romanian is gonna work low term. I'm gonna grow faster, but there's gonna be capped really fast, like maybe 10-20k subscribers, if I can say that. And then it's gonna get capped, and then you're basically stuck. So it's just about going global. That's my plan on the long term. So yeah, we gotta do what you gotta do. Even if now growth is gonna stall a bit, because as I said previously in my streams, my videos are getting shared to Romanians want to see video in English, they skip off my video, then the algorithm thinks my videos are shit, and they don't get shared anymore. But it's fine, I don't really care, to be honest. I'm not doing anything for results anymore. Like, I'm doing it just because I don't know, it's my path. This is just what I want to do. Yeah, if that makes sense. GTA looks like, yeah, we're probably gonna have a late again New York setup maybe. A New York setup very likely gonna happen. So just again testing my skill, but it's definitely not a trade worth taking. This is just like playing, to be honest. And you gotta be able to make the difference between a kind of play trade or a really good trade. Let's see. I mean, we can do an account check if there's anyone watching the stream right now. If it's not, that's completely fine. I don't mind. We can do an account check real quick. Well, I think we're around 3% which is fine. I don't care about. This is what a major shift went through me. Right, I don't care about results whatsoever. I don't need to force my way out of here. I'm fine even if I stay here for a longer period of time. I'm fine whatever happens. You get what I mean? But yeah, we ended up having that pretty good day. Pretty good day. I think Thursday was it. I think the 4% we could have probably passed the account in one trade, but that's completely fine for me. We were able to kind of recover all this bullshit break-even stage. For me, what I think is gonna happen, just go from here because I'm ready. I'm more than ready, but we're gonna see. Again, one thing that I'm going through is not making expectations anymore, because expectations are not gonna help you any way. If it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. When it's gonna happen, I don't know. I don't need to know. I don't need to know any of those things. You get what I mean? Expectations not gonna help you like anyway perform. It's just gonna put pressure in you, and if you don't achieve your goal or your target by you meeting that expectations, you're gonna start beating yourself up and lose confidence for no reason. Like, if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. When it's gonna happen, that's God thing. I don't know. I don't need to know when it's gonna happen, and don't need like money. Money's not gonna make me happy. What is gonna make me happy is just staying on my path. To be honest, like, what is have no impact on my happiness. It's not gonna, like, what is gonna have an impact realistically on is gonna be freedom. It's gonna allow me to go out more, which I haven't really did in the past 3 years. I've been isolated. It's gonna allow me to go out more. It's gonna allow me to get a car to be able to drive and relax. It's gonna be these things, but these are gonna be additions. My happiness are not gonna be dependent upon these material things. You get what I mean? Like, it's gonna be just additions, like bonuses. Oh yeah, it's gonna be, I want to travel. That's what is gonna make me a lot happier, but not materialistic things like a car or a phone. That's just temporary happiness. Whenever you buy a new phone, you know, you're extremely happy for like 1 week, 2 weeks, until you get used to it. That's when it fades away. Do you think that's gonna be different when you get your dream car? It's gonna be the same fucking shit. You get a dream car, you're gonna be extremely happy for 2 or 3 weeks. Then you're gonna get used to it, and that happiness goes away. That's why long-term happiness is never gonna be achieved through material things. Even when you get a dream car, no matter what you get, it's still gonna be the same. Even when you get your dream house, or a 2 million house, whatever house you want to get, it's gonna last 2 weeks, 3 weeks, until you get used to it. Then it's gonna become normal, and then you're just gonna feel normal. So if you're in this space of your happiness being dependent on these things, you're gonna keep buying things, and looking for happiness there, but it's never gonna be there. It's within you. That's what it makes a huge difference, and it's important to understand it earlier. For me, I'm happy that I'm able to understand these things before they happen, so I'm able to not be voided. That's why many people get rich, and then they feel empty, because their whole happiness was dependent upon getting rich. And once you get rich, your happiness just disappears. I'm gonna be happy when I turn profitable. I'm gonna be happy when I have an M4. I'm gonna be happy when blah, 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 blah. That's just bullshit, bro. And when you're gonna achieve them, you're voided. You're empty. Your happiness should be on what you do, like on being here, on being trading here every single day. That's what gives me happiness. Editing my video gives me happiness. Just the path in itself gives me happiness, not the like money and shit like that is just a byproduct of what you do. And that's really important to understand early on, because if you don't, you're gonna reach that point and you're gonna be voided. That's why there are a lot of rich people that are void, that they have no feelings. You get what I mean? Hey, that's why you gotta find love in the process of getting money. Like for me, I do love trading. I love trading. I wouldn't probably give anything and replace trading, to be honest, and replace what I do every day. Nothing's gonna change realistically. Just like what, get a better PC, get a better whatever, get a better PC, get a better phone, get a better car, and that's pretty much it. Like things are not gonna change. Like things are gonna change, but not to the point where, oh my god, like I don't even know how to explain it, but happiness shouldn't definitely be depending on results or dependent upon whatever, because if it is, like that's what I was learning, to detach this identity from results, or not feeling worthy if I don't have results. Because let's say, for you to be able to hold responsibility and hold your purpose or all of these blessings, you cannot, yourself, you cannot be tied to these results. Because imagine what happens if, for example, you're completely tied to results and your happiness depends on results. What happens when you go through a month of drawdown? That's when kind of everything is gonna collapse, because you're gonna start losing confidence in yourself. You're gonna start doubting. You're gonna start doing all these things that are, what are they gonna do, are just gonna spiral into you potentially losing the account or whatever. And that's not long term. That's very inconsistent. But you need to be unshaken. But whatever results happen, this is how the weight of a leader should be. That's how a lead. That's the responsibility of a leader. Because think about you opening a business, right? You were having a really major company. If you're gonna collapse when the company doesn't have great results, the company is gonna collapse itself. You need to be unshaken. That's why God, when you have some goals, God is preparing you. That's what I was going through. This was God. This was not me. This was not anywhere else. This was God, what I went through. God making sure I gain character to be able to withstand, because as I said, imagine you're in a business. You need to be unshaken by whatever results you have. But outside world, you cannot let outside results affect your self-confidence, because if that happens, the company itself is going to collapse, or your wealth is going to collapse. So this is why you hear all the time, God is preparing you to hold the weight of your blessings. This is exactly it. God is building you to get the character necessary for you to actually hold your blessings. How are you going to be able to be a really good trader or manage millions in an equity? Is by you not being affected by bullshit like losses and results. Because if that happens, you're gonna lose the equity. You're gonna lose all the equity. Imagine if you're trading others people money. That's when it starts being really important to be detached from results. What if you go, so let's say you go for 3 losses in a row with 1 million from other people, then you start getting scared. Oh my god, what is happening? Am I losing these people money? I can't lose this money. Then you're gonna start forcing trades and you're gonna lose all those people money. But to be able to actually face that, you need to stay unshakable. It's a really important characteristic, a really important character trait you need to develop to be able to withstand whatever blessing you have. Whatever you have, you need to be unshakable but whatever happens in the outside world. It's a lot of spiritual things I learned, and yeah, it's a really big level up, to be honest, in terms of how I think. Yeah, apparently this is working for now, but we're gonna see. It's probably gonna stall for the whole New York London session. This week is generally a very low probability week, so yeah, we can expect that shit to happen. Same with GG, same with Gold. Is all probably very likely gonna consolidate for London. So yeah, we're just waiting for New York. I feel like New York is probably gonna be better in this period to look to trade. But yeah, yes sir. Like so many spiritual things and so many like mindset and spirituality, because again you reach a point where your trading is way than enough. You have the good edge, you have a good strategy, you have good execution, you have good partials, good trade management, you have good trade selection, you have all of those things. When you reach that point, but when you're still not profitable, it means there's something wrong either in your soul or in your mindset. And that's when you gotta turn your attention to your limiting beliefs, your identity, what you're doing wrong, what are you operating from. From me, the spirit I was operating, I was doing everything from a space of survival. I need to do this so I can turn profitable. I need to do this to prove myself. I need to do this, blah 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 blah, and that would just end up affecting my trading and actively blocking my manifestation. I'm gonna go drink a coffee. I'm tired today. I kind of lack sleep, but it's fine. We're still gonna be present here, and I still like watching price action. Let's see if DAX breaks, but it's kind of very rare to see DAX not break, not have volatility for London Open. This is clearly gonna be a low probability week, but we gotta be careful. The only kinda good day. Wait, this is not. We need to go July 7th. Okay. The only good day is gonna be probably Wednesday, but it's gonna be really late volatility because of this. Realistically, it's probably gonna be Thursday with unemployment claims, and these are gonna be really nice medium impact news here. Thursday is gonna be high quality, and that's kind of it. To be honest, this is gonna be a low probability, and then next week we have CPI, right? French bank holiday, we don't care. Okay, it's nice. Apparently, CPI is Tuesday. Usually it's Wednesday, but it depends. Of course, it's in 15 of each month, but that's nice because when it's Wednesday, Monday and Tuesday you don't trade. But when it's Tuesday, you only have one day that gets fucked, and you can trade Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yeah, these are nice. I really like this news. I really like trading this news, but obviously not like after the news happened. This is also really nice PPR, really nice news. Are kind of the brother of CPI. It's same that we had last week. We had ADP, NFP, and we had NFP. Where is it? ADP. This is what we traded and would have allowed our trade to hit 15R, and this is NFP. So this is the kind of the brother of NFP. So we can trade a smaller brother of NFP and CPI. Of CPI is PPI. So we can definitely trade in days like this, and we can expect a bit of higher volatility on days like this. Let's see if DAX starts breaking. I don't know if, yeah, the breaks looks necessarily good. It's very choppy, even on the 1 minute. Yeah, low probability week this week, so just being careful on choosing your trades, and we cannot really expect higher trades like we had on GO last week. So we just gotta be a bit more patient. Oh fuck, I'm sleepy as fuck. Sleepy as fuck, man. We cannot really trade a lot of things. Look at like this, didn't do shit. Yuki, this one is stuck. This is probably gonna retrace as well. Nasdaq. God damn, Nasdaq had no volatility really for Friday. I mean, it kind of makes sense. We're gonna be patient. We gotta be really patient and not hurry to enter a trade here, because we gotta rely a lot on good timing and entering at the right time and entering on a real move, not the fake one. But we're gonna see what they do. Also, bro, I wanna start doing kick streams, but I think for now, my goal should still be growing on YouTube. I do need to make my videos a bit better. I'm still gonna do education live streams. Now the videos that I have, they're not doing that great recently, but that's fine. It's still part of the process, and yeah, gonna make the videos better. Gotta upgrade my thumbnails a bit more. I don't know yet how I'm gonna do that, but I'm gonna try, like, kind of giving my best on this video that I need to do with the geo trade that we had from Thursday. Where is it? Here. This is gonna get posted. I still need to work a bit more up on it, but this is gonna get posted. This was a really clean trade. So I mean, yeah, I'm gonna just give my best on making better videos, to be honest, because it's kind of time that I stopped doing some lazy shit. Okay, we're looking good. This is probably gonna fail. That's why it's a demo. We don't care about demos. This can be it, but it's really bad art. I mean, not extremely bad, but not great. I wouldn't say I want to take this, but it depends how the gap looks. We lack structure, like trading off of one gap only with no structure, with no market structure shift, no inversions, is not really a great choice unless you're really confident in the trade. But yeah, I cannot say that I'm massively confident in this trade. I mean, 1 minute doesn't look, 1 minute offers a structure here, but it doesn't look like great. It's pretty bad. Really just better off to skip London for today. That's pretty much it. Euro looks like it's displacing, but we need the hourly gap to form. Very short the flow was indeed anticipated, but we couldn't have traded it. Maybe 1 minute entry here. Oh, that's bullshit. That's bullshit, man. Yeah, I'm gonna go smoke because I'm probably gonna fall asleep at the PC if I keep staying. But yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna try my best with these videos. I'm making a cool short. I realize one important thing is if there's anyone actually watching this and caring. If not, it's just fine. I just share it for myself. YouTube shorts and generally short form content should be used for cloud chasing, for getting eyes on you, and for kind of triggering controversy, triggering engagement, doing all of those things just for cloud. Basically, cloud chasing. That's what short form should be used for. Then you should use those short form content as a funnel to drag viewers to YouTube. Okay, maybe for shorts, don't be too specific with how you trade. Just share what you trade, flex your results, let people wonder, okay, how does this guy actually trade? Then they go check your YouTube, they see more um, detailed insights on how you trade. Then they're like, okay, does this guy live trade, or how do I trade with this guy, or does this guy prove what he's doing live? Then they're gonna go to Kick, which Kick is one of my goals. I want to get partner program on Kick, but I think it's too early to start streaming on Kick. I gotta go at least, I would say at least 500 subs. Growth hasn't been massively great, but that's fine. At the end of the day, if I don't stop, I'm still gonna grow. 125 6 subscribers is fine for me. So yeah, that's just kind of the plan on how to use social media. Like, if every part of social media has its purpose, and it should have its purpose. Like, on what I used to do on short form is post boring content, post like very technical content. People are not gonna sit there and watch your boring content when they're very dopamine oriented. You need to catch their eye, make the edit fun, flex your results so they end up getting like wondering how does this guy trade. then you redirect them to your towards your YouTube and so on. But so like short form should definitely be used for cloud chasing, like cloud chasing definitely, or flexing, or whatever you want to do. Just kind of like give people a reason to, I don't know, watch more of you, right? Or give, I don't know, get eyes on you. I feel like that's the main purpose or of short form content. Get eyes on you, then redirect those eyes towards YouTube. That's pretty much it. And towards Kick, which is gonna be in the future, because the Kick partner program is something really crazy. It's basically like working a really good full-time job, bro. If you reach it, like if you manage to do this, you're getting paid like $16 per hour, bro, for just streaming. I don't know if they write here, but whatever. You're getting paid $16 per hour just to stream. So why not do it? You just gotta reach. These are the requirements. You need to reach 250 followers apparently and 25 subscribers. What is gonna be the hardest thing to do is achieving 25 active subscribers. That's probably gonna be the hardest thing to do, because yeah, they're paying legitimately, right? So for me, what I was thinking how to achieve those is to give some value. Through you subscribe, you achieve something, right? I give you something. Most people do not give you, they give shitty emojis for you subscribing. Like that shit doesn't make any sense. Like what the fuck am I subscribing for? You give me some emojis to use in the chat. That shit is whack. So I was thinking maybe giving away my Notion template. If you subscribe, I give you my Notion template. Or, and of course you can sit there and trade with me, like, and make money with me potentially. But like giving some value for the subscribers, that's probably the easiest way to um achieve like this target. And one other thing is that Kick, people are not gonna discover you like naturally on Kick. You need to redirect the viewers from somewhere, either short form or YouTube. So now I'm too small to be able to redirect like 775 viewers to Kick. So when I'm gonna grow, there's gonna be, okay, if you wanna see my live trading, you're gonna come and Kick. You come here and watch me. Kick is not a platform many people use. It's just a platform people get redirected to. Let's say they see your YouTube content, they like what you post. Okay, this guy is streaming, let me check his stream. Then he's gonna go on Kick. It's not gonna be you. For example, you randomly, oh my god, what happened? You randomly browse Kick and you just stumble upon my stream. That shit is not gonna happen. It's very rare to happen. You're not gonna be, oh look, I like this guy. Nah, hell nah. It's gonna be you, but you, yeah, by you getting redirected to Kick. But you're able to make a lot of money if you think about it. It's like working a full-time job. $16 per hour is not a little money. It's you being able to sustain yourself. Like, I'm streaming anyways right now. Might as well get paid for it, right? Might as well get paid for it. But I gotta be patient because I cannot transition right now to Kick. It's too early. I gotta grow a bit more, maybe 1K, maybe 500 subscribers. Then I can redirect my viewers to Kick, and yeah, give some value for subscribers. Like, I don't know what this shit is. Where is it? I don't know what this shit is. 75 concurrent viewers. I have no idea what. I mean, I don't know what this is. Like having at least 75 viewers on your stream, maybe. Stream for 30 hours, of course, is not going to be a problem. 50 unique chatters in the last. I think this is also pretty easy. Like the requirements they have is they're not really big. The hardest part is this: 25 active subscribers. This is the hardest part to achieve, especially if you're small. So you gotta give some value for it. At least that's what I see the easiest way to be able to reach that partner program. But yeah, it's gonna be something to be done in the future. Just keep growing the social media empire, the cycle. Okay, get eyes on you with short form, redirect them to YouTube, and then from YouTube redirect them to your Twitch. That's it. It's just the cycle, and with time it's gonna happen. But I think maybe as soon as I reach 500 subscribers, maybe then I can start streaming on Kick. You can do cross platform, which means streaming on Kick and on YouTube, but I just don't want to do that shit. They also generate revenue, but they don't say. I think it's around $16. Is there a cost to join the program? Am I eligible? What is this? Stream 5 minutes, okay, whatever. Yeah, this is basically. I think you get paid like $16, which is a lot of money. At least in my country, that's a lot of money to get paid for an hour. Like you stream, you can stream. Let's say, let's not say 8 hours. Let's say 3 hours London, 3 hours New York. That times 16 is $100 a day, bro. That's a lot of money. $100 a day times 5 days, 500 times 4, 2K. That's like an average of average, not an average. That's a good salary in my country. That's a really good salary in my country to make from streaming. Okay, from streaming, calculating um, not calculating the subscribers you get, just calculating what they pay you to stream. That's a lot of money to get for just streaming, just doing what I already do. It's like having a base income outside trading just by streaming. So that's why Kick is really good. That's why I'm gonna, yeah, when I'm gonna grow a bit more, I'm gonna come here. Is they pay you to stream, bro? Like, what do you want more? Like, even if for gaming, bro, like it's so stupid not to start streaming. Like, even if you game, if you really enjoy video games, like you're getting paid to fucking stream, bro. You're getting paid. You're getting a potential full-time job, way better than salary than a full-time job that you can get right now for playing video games or doing whatever you want. So that's kind of crazy. You're able to get money like this just by streaming, and it's just too. You're at this point. It's just being stupid not to start something like this. Like it's just a job, bro. Like especially for trading, I'm here anyways every day. I'm here anyways. I stream anyways every day. I'm present. Why not get paid for it? You get what I mean? It's just stupid not to try it. It's just stupid. But yeah, we're gonna see what they do later on. That's gonna be when I reach at least 500. I'm gonna go smoke. Yeah, but probably realistically, no real trade for today. I appreciate anyone who's been here until now. I'm gonna go smoke. It's probably not gonna be fun for you to just sit and watch a blank chart. But yeah, I need to go smoke and I need to drink a coffee because I'm gonna fall asleep at the PC if I don't. I'm still gonna stream, like I'm still gonna continue the stream, but yeah, I'm gonna go drink a coffee and smoke. struggling to break. This probably gonna be it for today. I just don't wanna. Yeah, very likely gonna be it for today. I see euro. Maybe euro is valid if we manage to come back in here with some alerts. Alerting. This is probably gonna be a valid trade if we come back, but again, we're not gonna force. We need to sweep this and then potentially look at a trade. But yeah, Dex is struggling. Not really a good break yet. So yo, not really much to be honest today. As I said, it's a low probability week, so we gotta wait for it. I don't know, something high conviction. But euro kinda, this is valid. So euro, gold if we come here, but these are probably all gonna be New York setups. All GJ, gold, euro, these are the trades I'm looking at. And DAX if we break, but I don't know if we break. We're kinda struggling. So maybe if we get, I don't know, I would want to see some more structure, but we're really slow today, and this is really rare for DAX to not see much volatility on London Open. It's kind of rare, but considering the week we have with low probability, low news, it's kind of expected, especially for a Monday, but we're gonna see. As I said, this is probably for New York. New York is probably gonna be where we have volatility today, and usually New York is the superior session to trade, but yeah, London doesn't look like it does much, and this is usually look like a retracement. Like when price struggle this hard to break is when we usually retrace. You did have some really strong wicks here on the inverse, but yeah, this is a good setup here. These are very good setups if we manage to get them. Gold as well. Gold has really strong higher time frame. Okay, RPI gets kinda refined here. Gold has really strong higher time frame here. Why did I say like that? 4 hour to 4 hour really strong on reaching lower, probably towards this and probably towards this because we have equal lows. So probably this is where we draw overall this week, very likely. And yeah, we're just waiting for a sweep of this equal highs here. This high doesn't need to get taken because it filled both of these FVGs, so it's a high that usually doesn't get taken, but we're very likely gonna sweep this. This is the setup we're waiting for. This and DAX are probably the highest quality setups. GG also looks good for just a continuation of here. We had a really good sell side sweep, and this overall is kind of voided area, but it's an area, yeah, we kind of almost fully fill this sell side sweep, inversion gap, and here we just look to keep targeting higher towards this and maybe this. But yeah, they have potential, but for New York definitely. Gold and DAX really strong. Also DAX has a really strong higher time frame. On the 4 hour here is just bearish for me. Inverse to inverse, and now we're retesting the inverse. It's just up to if we get a displacement lower, which doesn't really look like it, but yeah, we're just waiting. This would be nice for London just to consolidate and then sweep this London low, sweep this internal, and then from here just to look target this equal highs. This is a nice model that I trade. It's called like what usually happens is Asia sets a range, sets a strong range, and London acts just as liquidity to be swept into a POI within Asia, and then we look to target these highs. This is a really nice model. It's one of my favorite models that I trade, like intraday models, and I think it's the same with Euro and GU. It's just, yeah, Asia sets a really strong range, and then we come back and sweep London highs. It's very trending when Asia is very impulsive, which was today. That's when we trade setups like this. We trade a London sweep into a POI within Asia, then look to target the opposing structure. But it kind of looks like now it's gonna break, but yeah, we'll see. If it's breaking now, when this model breaks early, like in this case when it's breaking, it's more likely to reverse later on and then come for this POI and just open the next day. So it depends a lot to how we behave. For us to trade, we need to see that retracement start soon, generally, but it kind of looks like it's displacing, so I don't know if we're gonna get that. This is a very strong low here, probably gonna react of it. Really strong structure, but we gotta see this again. We have like 4 or 5 setups for today. UJ shit, UK shit. I don't know why this sometimes they get blocked. AUDUSD very impulsive. We don't want to trade ranges like this. It's a very impulsive edge range in London. Most of the time this acts as liquidity, so even if we try and short from this, we're very likely just gonna get swept because price needs to rebalance, right? Needs to retrace. So we'll see what it do, but very likely gonna be a New York or maybe lunchtime. Maybe DAX is gonna displace for lunchtime, but usually these consolidations either get swept or they initiate and then we see a retest and then we break lower. This also pattern price does a lot of times. Is consolidate, initiate, retest the mitigate, or retest and mitigate the consolidation, then keep breaking lower. So this can be a scenario that we're gonna see. The high doesn't necessarily need to be rated because it already rated the Asian highs and these. So a high always becomes unlikely to get taken when it takes liquidity, right? So I don't know how to explain, like the fact that this high took Asian highs and that high to the left makes it unlikely for this to get swept, which gives us confluence that we can take shorts if we just see a displacement, and stop loss at this high means we have a really well protected stop loss. If this high wouldn't take Asian highs here and we would have displaced from here, it would have been really risky for us to short because you would have had that really high chance of resweeping the high. If that makes sense, this is just like common knowledge in trading, at least in sweeps of liquidity. We always want to have protected highs where we put our stop loss. And protect the high usually means a high that's previously swept liquidity. In this case, to sweep this, or a consolidation. Well, in this case, we have both things. We have a raid on buy side and we have a consolidation. This is a very protective high here. Consolidations or strong highs, or this can be a low term protected high because of this formation. Sweep liquidity, fractal high. It's like a fractal high is like a, how do I call it, a head and shoulder. And see that why the New York came here and didn't take the high, respected this same area and then continued displacing. This is just something that if you're watching this, just pay attention to this. This is really helpful for, yeah, in general, just really helpful to know when your stop loss, or yeah, when your stop loss is protected basically, and it's a very safe stop loss if in this case we would break lower. For example, these highs, you shorting here is exactly the opposite of what we talk, because we have our stop loss at buy side liquidity. Because these highs didn't take buy side, the protected kind of, or yeah, these are kind of three things that usually confirm a well protected high: is deep fill, buy side or liquidity rate, or and rebalance of an MVG. In this case, if we want to take this trade here, we need to place it here because this is very weak highs and very high chance we sweep though. This is kind of like three things. It's buy side liquidity sweep. Okay, now we're displacing. Okay, let's see this. We might take this. I'm not sure though, but it might be. It is kind of valid, but R is pretty bad. I don't want to generally. I want to generally have 2R on this because it's a lot of structure here, and it's a very high chance we see reactions of here. And that's why I generally look to have main target at this. But it's decent. 1.5. I don't know. We can do like this. But I don't know if I want to force, or if, yeah, it kind of looks like a force setup. It's just better off to wait. I would prefer to wait for that shit that I said. I want to see an initiation lower. Yeah, this would probably kind of be what I want to see, or what I want to see for me to take this trade, this comeback. Initiate now, react of this, retrace, and then here I'm gonna look on the retest of that consolidation here to enter. That's kind of what I wanted for. I don't want to enter here. It's just like not common knowledge, but just experience talking here. So that's what we're waiting for. Euro and you don't really look like they're gonna. Yeah, these are definitely New York setups. GJ very likely. So 3, 4. kind of for New York setups we have potential, and this is kind of the only setup that it has potential for now. But we need to wait. This displacement way too big. RR is very garbage for us to trade here. I mean, yeah, normally this is what you look for. Like, this for me is a very dangerous area, so this is where I want to have main position, take profit. But now I'm waiting for the scenario I said, which is um, I think we also have 50-minute gaps. Yeah, it's just better off to wait for another confluence here and wait for that retracement inside this, and then we get our entry pattern, and then we look the target. That's kind of the only way I'm gonna trade this. As I said, coming from a space, I don't need to trade. I don't need to prove myself. I don't need to pass the account. It's just waiting for what I want to see, expressing my skill, and this is just waiting for that to happen. Because we still have resistance. I want to see these 50-minute averages first get mitigated before considering to enter the trade, because it's too risky, right? You entering off a 50-minute average, 50-minute bullish average is just too risky to try and trade. So yeah, we're gonna wait for the scenario I said, and the gap is too big to be traded. So it's weird, right? In entries, sometimes the gap is too small and sometimes the gap is too big. It's just with experience you're gonna be able to kind of know which caps you want to follow, right? For me, this is just fake. It's very very big and not worthy to trade off straight off. So this is also a good consolidation that is very very likely gonna get remitigated on the retrace up again. So that's what we're gonna wait for, Gengi. DXY just, oh, I said this actually on DXY, that we're gonna form a 1 hour gap. It doesn't look like we're gonna retrace, it just looks like we're gonna draw towards that, which means Euro is very likely gonna do the same and draw towards this low right here. This is probably the target, and GU very likely gonna do the same. So we're gonna see, but GJ for me still looks good for New York, and gold looks good, and DAX looks good right now. So DAX is kind of the only setup I would be willing to trade in London. That's kind of it. That's kind of it, Gengi. That's kind of it. I see we're getting that pretty big reaction, to be honest. Stand up and show them why you're better. Bro, I really like my last edit, bro. That shit is crazy. I really like how I made the edit. Really clean. I like it, but it's just a part over short. It's not, yeah. I don't really like making this edits. But yeah, right now, waiting to see if we get this. I would still want to see this. Now the gap looks a bit better, I would say, but still definitely too early to enter. This is just stupid to try and enter here. Even if it works, it doesn't matter if it works. What matters if it's good, and we get to our, but I don't like it. What? 12 is where my session ends, so until I'm willing to do a demo here, as I'm usually doing when there's trades that I don't like taking. So I'm gonna do a market sell here. As I usually do when I don't like taking trades, I demo them. Right, demo is very useful too. One, don't get bored while you're trading is really important. Not getting bored while you're trading. Many times trading for a lot of people is boring, and especially trading one pair. The fact that I trade so many pairs makes it way more fun, because you're watching so many pairs. But when you're trading one pair and waiting for it to develop, it can get really really boring. So demo trade, that's my advice. Demo trade is useful in a lot of ways. and doing no YouTube again, bro. Like at first I used to get so bored trying to waiting for my setups. Now I don't even do YouTube anymore. But I think what helps a lot is the fact that I'm streaming and I'm talking and I'm expressing my views. That's what it really helps. That's what helped me a lot, bro. Like uh starting to record myself trading and speaking of what I'm seeing, because it automatically you focus. If you do this, you automatically focus, and that's a huge help. It's a huge help to record yourself. So if you're not recording yourself, start doing that shit. Start doing that shit right now. I think I have footage of me, a lot of footage. I think 1 year of trading I have recorded, and it helps. I didn't really watch them, but I'm posting them many of times. So record yourself trading. Really, even if you don't post them anywhere, just record yourself trading because it helps you focus. You speaking of what do you see in the market helps you focus and helps you stay centered in what you're seeing. I'm curious if this trade works or not, but again, this is just not a trade I would take, not yet. As I said, I'm waiting for that shit. Retest and yeah, retest basically. It does look like a good gap. This is how a good gap looks. This is definitely a good gap, but it's just like a very iffy setup, if I can call it that. It has no relevance outside this one gap. We don't have any other confluence. This is not a valid low to get broken. We don't have massive buy. We don't have anything basically. Just a gap. Not entries you generally want to trade unless you're extremely confident in the entry itself, but not something you want to take. And also treat trading like a job, bro. Like staying focused. Like I had so many trades I missed because I wasn't focused. So many trades because I wasn't focused and wasn't present. And one thing that I helped change this was treat trading like a job. Like in London session, 2 hours from 10 to 12 my time. I'm here. I can't do anything else like a job. I did go and drink a coffee, but yeah, so that's kind of something else. But when you're here, when you're training, you're at a job. When you're at a job, you cannot watch YouTube, you cannot scroll TikTok. You're just there doing your job, right? The same with trading. If you want results and if you don't want trades missed or opportunities missed, just treat trading like a job. And it's not much, bro. 2 hours in London, just stay fully focused. And 3 hours in New York, stay fully focused. That's it. It's way less than a normal job. So at least do that shit. Like it's already like easier than a job, so might as well do it, right? Don't scroll TikTok, don't scroll Instagram. But it's hard at first. I wasn't born this way either. Like it's something you develop with time. Like for me, it just kind of, bro, it's not negotiable. It's like a job. London, full focus. New York, full focus. After that, you can do whatever you want. Like even right now, even I don't see any setup valid, right? I don't see any setup valid right now that is probably gonna happen in London. That doesn't mean I'm gonna hop off the charts. You staying there and watching price is gonna develop your experience, develop your intuition, and just help you in the long term, right? It's just gonna help you. Even though now I know there's not gonna be any setups and I just wanna play a bit of Call of Duty, I'm not doing that. I'm gonna do that after 12 if I want to, when the session is over and when I've done my job. Even if it's bank holiday, this is a rule I added to myself. Even if it's bank holiday, no matter what, no matter if no trades are present, just be there. Just be there and watch price because it helps you. This is how you gain experience. Even if you're not making money, it's really helpful for you to just sit and watch price. And it's fun. For me, it's fun even if I don't have setups. That's why I use demos. That's why it makes it work more fun. Use demos, right? When you don't have setups, just limit test with demos, but also make sure this is not turning into a habit because it happened to me as well when I traded demos for a long time, and then I started trading lives like demos and I started losing like hell. So make sure you just treat demos like a play, and that's it. That's where it stays. Not make sure the style of demo trading doesn't get into your life. That's pretty much it, what I can give you. But yeah, we'll see. For now, it's kind of still holding that gap. Even if it's lunchtime setups, hell nah, I don't like taking lunchtime setups. Very rarely. Very rarely. Even though gold, I feel like might give a lunchtime setup because it's already retracing. GJ might. That's a little better off. I do really like if we see GG coming lower here. I do really like that we have left this buy side liquidity intact. So this becomes a really clear target for us if we sweep this and we have a trade. This becomes a really easy target. This is what we're gonna look for. We don't really look to target more than this. Maybe we can leave runners towards here, but remember this is a 4-hour inverse. So generally this is where our main TP is gonna be at. Let's say we have a 13 pip stop loss and we look to target. We have waited enough, right? So yeah, this is gonna be a good trade. See, this is getting disrespected. That's what I said. It's just too risky. Like too little confluence on this gap that we have here on the 1 minute, on the 3 minute, my bad. And we had 15 mini IVG. So this, if this goes to stop loss, this is the perfect demonstration of when to skip a trade, when a trade looks bad, when an entry looks bad. This can be the perfect demonstration of the use of experience, right? Because the entry is valid. Again, a gap, you just trade off gap. Many people just trade off gaps. The entry is valid, but that doesn't mean the entry is good. Why isn't it good? Because look at price here. No structure, no relevance, no signs besides a gap. I always look to have at least 2 confluences on my entries. This is kind of an unwritten rule for my entries. I always look to have two confluences for my entry. In this case, what is our confluence? Only this gap. That's it, which makes the trade instantly riskier. This is our only confluence. So I would have wanted to see a market structure shift, an inverse besides this gap, something else. It's not enough to have only a gap, unless there are cases, but they're really rare, when a gap is enough. But in this case, it definitely isn't, because it just rated this liquidity here, this low, and it tapped a 50-minute IVG, and this. So it's definitely not enough to take your trade. It's just about kind of, this is definitely experience, or it can be a rule. If you want to use it that way, it can be a rule. Okay, I need 2 confluences for my entry, and that's it. I need 2 confluence. I need a gap and an inverse, a gap or a market structure shift, an inverse or a market structure shift, a liquidity rate and a gap. There's so many things that you can combine into an entry, right? I used to have my entry pattern for a long time was market structure shift, but it was really a really nice entry pattern that ended up working really well. Was, for example, like this: the low that will get broken first needed to rebalance an IVG. This was the first rule. So the low was formed into an IVG. Second, take the high and then get the break. This is the pattern I traded so many times and it ended up working really well. Now I still trade it. I just trade more entry patterns. I don't need to limit myself to only this pattern, but this was working really well. So I was trading this entry pattern with Asian raid. That's it. We raid Asian highs, look for an entry pattern like this, or we raid Asian lows and I look for an entry pattern like this. That was it. That's how I traded for a long time, and it worked really well, but it just wasn't enough for me. Now I just trade way more entry patterns, but that's an entry pattern I started with, and I don't regret trading it because it worked really well. GG, I don't really like that we're impulsive here, so what we're probably gonna wait for is, again, still wait for New York and still wait for some type of mitigation of this bearish range, and then again look for entries. Like, you gotta see trading as a battle of confluences, right? If you see really strong bearish confluence, you need to wait for another bullish confluence to take away that bearishness, if that makes sense. So I don't know how to explain this efficiently, but seeing this bearish range, we need to see it mitigated first, which is our extra confluence, before taking entries. If this bearish range wouldn't be this impulsive, we didn't need to wait for that. We would have just looked for an entry to look higher. if that makes any sense. So you need to kind of, I don't know, it's similar to chess, but this looks like an inversion. Like this looks like it's gonna get inversed. It's just struggling, too deep of a pullback. It might hold though, because it did come into this, but it's still not a, definitely not an entry. And the perfect example on when you should skip entries. At least two confluences and at least some proper price action. This is bullshit. And too much bullish resistance. That's why this is exactly the same thing I said before. When you have bullish confluence, you need to wait for it to get kind of cleared before entries. What does that mean? Having these 50-minute gaps here, meaning I would have wanted to see another retrace and then an entry pattern, so another confluence to kind of mitigate that bullish confluence. I don't know how to explain, but waiting for it to get cleared before taking, because here, see, we're just holding the 50-minute gap. We're just holding the 50-minute gap, so of course it's very risky for us to take shorts here, and especially coupled with only a bearish gap. That's very likely why it's gonna get disrespected. Let's see, GG already reached, but it's too bearish. It's too bearish instantly. Like, we cannot trade shit like this. Still gonna wait for New York. And see how it's gonna get disrespected. This is times where I got manipulated over and over and over again, because I didn't really adapt. This is where adaptation is powerful, because no system will ever tell you to, oh, I have these gaps, I need to wait. It's just something that you develop through experience, through getting stopped out many times, through your entry failing hundreds of times before you learn when to wait for another confluence. So it's just through experience. That's why it's so important. Trading is just a matter of experience, bro. Like, just working and working and working until you develop experience enough with your strategy to be able to turn profitable. That's it. Like a stock strategy, I say this a lot of times. A stock strategy has 30 to 50% win rate. That's very average. That's very close to being break even. What is gonna make you highly profitable and consistently profitable is your experience using that strategy. Because with experience, you're gonna be able to filter valid trades that are prone to lose. Valid trades that are prone to lose. That's when intuition and experience comes in. When even though a trade is valid, how this trade is, you know it's likely to lose, and you decide to skip, and that's how you avoid a loss. And that, what does that do? It increases your win rate and it increases the profit you make. That's why experience is so important, bro. Like, that's just it with trading, and no one talks about this, bro. No one talks about experience and intuition, and it's legitimately the thing that is making you profitable. Is legitimately the thing that is making you profitable. It's not the strategy that makes you profitable, it's the experience of using the strategy. That's it. The people don't talk about this. I never saw people talk about this, bro. I feel like, I don't know, it's such a taboo subject and people don't talk about it for some reason. And it's something you gotta, at least I learned myself, and I didn't let myself get influenced by anyone. People say all you need is one strategy and one pair. Fuck off, bro. Like, relentlessly respecting your rules is just stupid, especially when your intuition is developed enough. Trading takes long because it takes 2 to 3 years for you to develop your experience or your intuition necessary to benefit your trading. At first, your intuition will not have enough feedback to be able to be right. At first, your intuition is going to be wrong more often than not. But with time, with experience, with journaling, with taking part in live trading, your experience will start getting developed to be right more often than not. To be right more often than your strategy. That's when you're gonna start using it. That's how you achieve the highest level of profitability. Yes, you can be profitable with only a strict strategy, but it's gonna be really inconsistent. This is what I show a lot of people. Let me see, where are my stats. My Notion is kind of a mess right now. Look at this shit, not this. Look at this shit. This is how a stock strategy looks like. Look at this losing streaks. Okay, it works. It's very inconsistent. It has period where it works, but then it has those massive losing streaks. Massive losing streaks. No one wants to be part of this bullshit, bro. No one wants to be. This is how a stock strategy looks like. Like, this strategy is good. It's just that this is what an equity curve that a strategy that gets relentlessly respected. Looks like, do you think it's fun to go June to July to pure drawdown? No, June to August. That's bullshit, bro. Why would you settle for this when it's so much more possible? And how you're gonna make these bullshit fucking losing streak disappear is through experience. Because through here, I guarantee you, at least 80% of these trades you can avoid using experience. And then just imagine how much better your equity curve looks like. Because all of this you're avoiding, and then you start going up from here. That's what makes your equity curve cleaner, and that's what makes consistent profitability. This is not consistent profitability, right? This is not how consistent profitability looks like. And the only way to truly achieve really good, like you see those, how do I do this? You see those really great traders that have their equity curves going up, and they have really small losses and they consistently go up, is through experience. No fucking strategy would ever perform like this. No, no strategy will ever perform like that. Only through experience. So that's why it takes 2 years, it takes 3 years. For me, took 3 years. But people don't realize this, people don't talk about this, people don't listen. There are things that you're only gonna discover when you put in the work, or in this case, if you listen to what I say. This is why I want to become a bigger person, because there's many things that I want to teach people, I want to help people understand that traders are not talking about, bro. Traders, like influencer traders, are hiding their journey, bro, are hiding their losses, are hiding the lessons that you truly learn, are hiding what the journey actually takes and what is necessary for you to learn to be able to turn profitable. What the fuck talks about experience, bro, or intuition? I searched so many times trading intuition. I'm gonna search right now, trading intuition. No one fucking talks about it. No one. Like some bullshit shorts that don't really explain how you balance this shit. Like, bro, no one really explains, like, what is this bullshit? Is my trading intuition better than my trading strategy? Fuck off, man. Like, look at this. There's no, I mean, yeah, but yeah, it's not like a system or how you do it. But when, bro, like, this is what I want to do when I'm gonna grow. I want to really shine a lot of light on people, because intuition is not something easy to calibrate. It's not something easy. Where's my, this is how intuition should be used. Too much intuition will be hard to apply consistently. Too little intuition will limit your potential, but you need to find that sweet spot between intuition and rules. That's what the people don't talk about. People just, it's just a very taboo subject, but this is how you achieve the highest level of profitability, or how you achieve your edge, by having a mix of intuition and a mix of rules. And this is up to you to find out how much intuition are you gonna use, how, yeah, just kind of trying to find the sweet spot. Now people don't talk about it, and yeah, that's kind of frustrating, because I just had to discover all these things alone. And yeah, that's what I want to do YouTube. I want to bring a lot of light, because, bro, why settle for a fucking 40% win rate and this inconsistency when you can achieve 50, 60, 70, 80% win rate by using your intuition? Why would you sell it for 5% months when you can achieve 20, 30, 40% months? Like, that's why I don't understand. There's people that trade, they have a 5% payout and they say, haha, I'm down for the month, fuck that shit. Like, bro, are you serious? How big of a pussy are you? Why would you stop out of safety? Why would you stop if there's gonna be really good opportunities in the market that only are gonna make you more money? Why would you say, nah, I'm not taking that shit, I'm taking the payout? Bro, like, come on, man. Like, I understand, for example, if you have, let's say you have 3 accounts, and for example you hit 5% on one of them, and then you don't trade this for the rest of the month and you wait your payout, but you still trade the second one, I would understand this. But when you have only one, and you hit 5% in the first 2 days of the month, and then you say, nah, I'm not gonna take any more trades, bro, that's some pussy shit. Hey, bro, thank you for being here, bro. How are you doing? Are you guys trading today? This is a bullshit trade, and it's exactly failing, as I said. Like, people are pussies, bro. Like, people settle for average. Like, this is average. Why would you settle for this when you, every single one of you that is watching this, can achieve 50, 60, 70, 80% profits, and you can achieve 30-40% months easily. Why would you sell it for being average in trading when you can become so much more? That's why I don't understand, bro. And look at this. Is this like good profitability to you? 5%, 3%? Like, this is bullshit, man. This is just bullshit. Why would you sell it for this when I made 5% on one trade on Thursday? I made on this, I made 5%. Does this mean, oh my god, I'm gonna take the day off and I'm not gonna trade for the rest of the month and just secure my payout? Are you fucking serious, bro? When there's gonna be so many more opportunities like this, when you can just print money out of thin air, why would you stop? So I don't understand people like this. I think they're just operating from because they're scared, to be honest. Yeah, my stop loss on gold that was holding from Friday. Oh my god, that's probably the biggest pain you can you can encounter. I'm sorry for you, bro. That hurts so much, bro. Oh my god, that's probably the biggest pain you can encounter. Like, but it's fine, bro. As long as you learn, make sure you journal and learn is fine. You just sometimes the market does this and you can really control it. Yeah, that's probably the pain, the hardest pain you can experience. I want to see if I can find one of my trades that got stopped out like this, but I don't know if I remember. Wait, oh okay, because it's been a while to be honest. Um, Let me try and remember. I don't know if it's not even worth trying. What is the chance of this being it? Oh, oh nah, this I closed early. Yeah, I closed early on this. It was already on break even. Oh, that's better. I mean, I don't know if it's better, but it's still good that you didn't get a loss though. But it does hurt a lot to get stopped out and then prices hitting your take profit. But it happens, bro. Just don't be mad at yourself. It's just the market sometimes does this. But it's good. At least it's good that you caught a good trade. That's the positive part. Yeah. This is one of the things that you can do to avoid this stuff. That's what I learned after getting many times stopped out like this. I usually started either I used to have stop losses like this. I would get manipulated. Then I started giving a bit of room to either my break even or my stop loss. So as long as you did your best in the current moment and you thought that that was the best decision, it's nothing wrong with that. Now, just you still had the good idea. The trade still ended up going to your take profit, so you still did a good job. It's just that it's happened in an unfortunate scenario. Now, what I would do is just look, how can I improve this, right? How can I avoid maybe getting stopped out like this? And what I learned through many times is also being careful when to go break even. Let me see if I can show a trade that I learned that really well on. Um, it was on AUDUSD actually. Uh, I put my break even too early, got stopped out of break even, then price ended up going to my TP. Let me see if I can find that. 'Cause that is a really good example of when to. Oh yeah, this I think this is it. No, not this. Let me see. I do really want to find this trade because this trade actually happened when I was one trade from passing the challenge. Just imagine, I was one trade from passing phase one. I got stopped out at break even and then price ended up going to my TP. That probably was one of the hardest. Yeah, this is a very old trade, but don't know where the fuck is it. Oh yeah, this one, bro. Yeah, this one. So I was in profit. Look, price came 1 millimeter to my take profit. I go break even. Price comes, taps me out of break even and hits TP. And I was one trade away from passing phase one. One trade away. And what I learned here is, let me see, because I did learn. When your entry area is really relevant, don't go break even. Don't go break even. Put your stop loss a bit higher here if your entry is really still really relevant. This is how I should have managed this trade here to avoid getting stopped out of break even, because the entry where I took my entry is a really nice 5-minute inverse. So break even holds a lot of relevance. Therefore, don't go break even because you expect price to potentially mitigate break even and then continue. That was one of the things I learned. Not going break even too early. And I think this one, what trade did I have when I got topped out? I think I had some recent trades that I got. Not this one. I don't exactly remember because I didn't really journal my last trades. I had one like this exactly. Um, I think DAX, when break even too early would have cost me, yeah, here, exactly. The exact same thing here happened. Entry good. I still admit, okay, entry is really relevant. I didn't do anything. Price ended up coming, mitigating break even, and then go. So this is not something about a rule. This is more about experience, to be honest. And if your entry is really relevant, don't, if you want to save for it or save for your stop loss or pull your stop loss, save for it, just put it above your entry zone. That's what I learned through many times. Yeah, man. Yeah, this will really help you. This is exactly what I learned, and I think you should learn too, because your trade was really good, I'm sure of it. It's just that sometimes you don't know it, right? These are things you didn't know before. These are things you need to learn. Like there's no need to be mad at yourself for things like this. Quite a few times, all about experience. Yeah, bro, just learning and not getting demoralized. Just keep your head up, no matter what happens. This is the part of the journey, right? This is what is required. Journal trades because it helps you learn a lot faster. See, because I journaled my trades, I remember this trades, bro. This trade was like, I don't know, a long time ago. Was not really, not this one, but the AUD USD trade was pretty old. Because I journal, I remember them, and that's gonna help you learn way faster from your mistakes. I think in my opinion, there's a lot of people that go 1 hour to break even. For example, price reaches 1 hour, 1 hour, then they go break even. That's a very mechanical like system, and that can backfire a lot of times with price just going this. Maybe it's a good system, but you just gotta know when it's bad to use it. If your entry again is still a very strong zone, instead of going break even, just put it like this above the zone. And if price invalidates that zone, it invalidates your trade idea, while you're still maintaining a place where your idea is valid, but you're still kind of lowering the risk on the trade, if that makes sense. But I'm curious how you entered this. I'm curious where you entered. What time frame did you enter on? I think you said maybe hourly, 50-minute maybe. I'm trying to kind of figure out how you entered this gold trade. Can you tell me where you entered? I just want to see. When you entered, what price did you enter on, and what time frame did you enter on, if you can, because I'm just curious. I think your trade was fine. It's just, yeah, sometimes we break even too early. It's something that happens. Let me delete this. DAX is again perfect example of what I explained earlier. If you haven't been here, why you don't take bullshit trades with only one confluence. You don't take entries with only one confluence. GJ, it looks pretty good. Like this gap is good, I'm not gonna lie, but keep in mind again, we need to see this bearish part of the range get fought off first. But it's gonna be a demo once again, or it can be a low risk because the breaker looks good here. The breaker does look pretty good. I just, again, 50-minute gap, I don't really want to be buying until 50-minute gap. 334 150, I'm gonna look. Okay, 3341. Oh, here you go. Oh my god, it got mitigated, and that's so unlucky. Oh my god, that's so unlucky. It's just like, this is clear manipulation. This is such clear manipulation. I think around here, this is definitely where you got stopped out of break even. You probably entered on this, I'm guessing. Yeah, this looks like a good entry here with a stop loss like here. Yeah, this is just clear manipulation. Like, this is just, price did exactly that here. Like, it's very clear that price exactly came for break even orders, or it just came for this area that is really relevant, this inverse, or the place you take your entry. The inverse and the bearish gap, it stayed a really relevant entry. But yeah, this is clear manipulation. And why I did this is also because of this buy side liquidity on New York. This is was really nice buy side liquidity to be swept into that really relevant POI. But yeah, it's just something to learn at the end of the day. I mean, it's generally not a bad idea at all to go break even on, especially when you're leaving trades overnight, because it's risky. But this is just classic behavior. When price opens, it always manipulates like this. Either break even orders, either it sweeps this New York. But yeah, this was a really nice trade for you. And I'm assuming you would have targeted this low. This actually was really clean. I'm not gonna lie. This is a really good trade. Well done on having the good trade. Well done. This was a really clean entry. A bit of deep drawdown, but that doesn't really matter. The entry was still really good. The idea was good on being bearish. That's what my bias was. It's just that unlucky that price does this sometimes. Like probably even if you did something like this, maybe from spread you would have still gotten. Yeah, man, but that's fine. That's not a bad choice to be honest, and it's not something to blame yourself on. Right, it's not something. It's a really good choice to protect your capital, especially leaving over the weekend. Not only over the night, but over the weekend. That's a really good choice to protect your capital, but sometimes it can backfire. Probably I would say the best choice would have been here. You taking some partials around here when Friday closed. Let's say around here, taking some partials and still leaving your stop loss open. But that would have only came from the space of you knowing that this area is really relevant, knowing that you have this buy side liquidity, and knowing that it's a high chance price to mitigate that area. So this is again experience, just what you see. There's three things that I would have seen here that would have indicated that we manipulate like that in open. Is first, we had this bullish FVGs that need to be fought off. First, this is exactly what I'm waiting for on GJ here. I'm waiting for that bearish FVG to be fought off first, to price to use them. That's exactly what happened here. And that one reason. Second reason was this buy side liquidity, and third reason was that the area was really relevant. Why it was really relevant? Because it was at the top of the move. It's where the move initiated, and structure wasn't bearish first, so we needed to form that lower high to rebalance. That's kind of three reasons that it would have told me that price would do this. I would have probably, I don't know, take a small partial just to be sure, like 30%. Stop loss, leave it open, and that's it. And just let it go. But this is hard to do. It's not something easy to do whatsoever. But the trade idea was really good. Good job on that. I think it's just, yeah, it's just not really your fault, to be honest. I would say that it's not really your fault. It's just that you didn't necessarily have the experience to be able to predict a scenario like this. But it was a really good trade. Good job on that. But yeah, this is how price usually does. I'm curious if it did that. Like, see, even here it kind of manipulated a lot. It came on Asia Open, it came for this high. So price always kind of on Asian Open or on Midnight Open, it always manipulates. So that's why, yeah, it kind of backfires. It's hard to, right? It's hard to do it efficiently. But this was a really nice trade. What did I want to see? I want to see GJ. See why I said like this would have been a gamble. Like even if it works now, this looks like a losing entry for me. Like this was one of the reasons. Like you had a 50-minute FVG here, that would have kind of showed you. Wait, let me see. Yeah, it's basically three reasons. 1, 2, 3 that showed break even might get mitigated. But it's hard to do, bro. It's hard because you're leaving risk open on the trade. It's just that in this case, seeing those confluences would have shown you that break even is still very highly chance to get mitigated because it's a very good area and the trade is gonna work, right? That was it. Hi, yes. So this is just journal this and yeah, just learn from them because this is a really nice example. This is actually clean price action. Have those reasons mess with my mind when I'm moving, yeah. But it's that fear. I always did this a lot of times. That fear. What if I get stopped out? You know what I mean? What if I what if price stops me out, leaving my entry open? Midnight is really risky, which it is, right? But it's just about, yeah, it's just about having enough trades like this that give you confidence in this happening, if that makes sense, if what I'm saying makes sense. You getting tapped out at break even and then price working many times until you actually develop the confidence to know that this is very likely to happen, if that makes sense what I'm saying. And I always a problem I had a lot of times, I used to make decisions like break even, like taking partial and so on, because of financial, because of securing some comfort mentally, or taking some partials, or taking going break even to give me comfort. But these are really bad decisions. The decisions you should make should be based on price action always, not because of comfort, not because of financial decisions, not anything based on money, not anything based on money or percentage. It all should be based on price action. Because if you would have, of course, like, I'm not here, hi bro, hi, welcome to the stream. I'm not uh, hitting you or whatsoever. I'm not here to blame you. This is exactly what I've been on, right? So financial and technical, like many times when we make financial decisions, they end up being bad. What we should focus on when taking decisions like this is technicals, price action. If you would have come from this space and look up price, right, what price did here, you would have let your trade open and you wouldn't end up causing a win. Like, I did this so many times, bro. I did this issue so many times. I used to take partials because of, I don't know, percentage, comfort mentally, and I just end up taking partials early and then price runs into my favor. I go break even because I'm scared, then my break even gets end up getting tapped and price runs. So it's just about ignoring percentage, ignoring money, ignoring all of those things, and just focusing on price. At least that's what I learned, right? But the trade was really good. Good job on that. This is just a matter of time until you hit trades like this. Just I want you to understand that it's just a matter of time, bro, and learning. This trade was really good, and I'm gonna stand on business. This trade was extremely good. I see GJ, but yeah, this looks like a false entry. Still not gonna trade until yeah. But yeah, always focus on price when taking decisions, even if it calls for break even, even if it calls for partials. These are financial decisions, but do not make them from a space of you focusing on percentage. Well, oh my god, it's 1% in profit, I need to trim. Oh my god, price is midnight, I need to go my stop loss to break even because I'm scared to lose. I don't want to lose on the account. These are all thoughts coming from you focusing on the results, right? Instead of us focusing on the process. What is price actually telling us? Well, what is the actual price actually telling us? 1, 2, 3. That we're very likely to mitigate that break even. You get what I mean? It's just like a switch in perspective. And this, at the end of the day, is just about taking the best decisions. Like I can show you probably 20, 30 trades when I just closed early because of me focusing on the results and not the process. Where is that line? Wait. I want to show you how many I closed so many trades early, bro. Like, it's crazy because I was focusing on the percentage and I was scared to lose, and I end up closing the trade early, and then price ends up hitting my take profit. Like, I think this one I closed early. Let me see where I closed. Ignore high time frame. I think this is not really a good example, but I probably closed at around break even, to be honest, here, because I was scared, like, for no fucking reason. I was scared to let the trade run. Trade ended up going towards TP, and I closed because I was scared. So this is what I can do to help you. The trade was really good. It's just that sometimes we need to learn some things before. Yeah, it's just experience at the end of the day, and try and focus even on these decisions. Try and focus on the process. Oh my god, that Notion is lagging so hard because I have so many trades. I want to see close to early. Scared, see? This is a good example. Scared here. This is probably going to be a really good... oh my god, but the trade is old, bro, when I was having these charts. God damn. But yeah, 1 second. Yeah, this is not. It doesn't look like it's gonna work. Let me. Oh my god, my Notion is lagging so hard. I wanna filter here and go by mistake and go close too early. I'm gonna show you how many trades I have. Look at this. Like a lot of trades where I closed too early. This was actually fairly recent. I closed in this consolidation because I was scared, because I was focusing on the money and I was focusing on the fact that I don't want to lose. What I should have done is just let the trade run. One simple decision like this can make the difference. This as well, like it's a lot of trades. Like I made this mistake a lot of times. This, bro, like this trade, look where I closed. I think this was around here. So I closed and then price fucking flies to my TP and then the next thing it ends up getting hit. Like this hurts, but this is how you learn. You learn through pain. You learn through experiencing the opposite part of what you should do. And this also, like imagine, bro, look at these trades. Like these trades are so clean, so easy, and I closed in them because I was scared. Like look at this, like what was the reason to close behind this? But instead of me looking at price action, with price action is telling me, I was looking at the profit on the top right, on the bottom left of my bottom right of my screen on MetaTrader, and I got scared and I ended up closing like on a very easy trade. I think this applies very well to your case as well. This is something hard that we gotta fight through before learning to actually, um, yeah, before learning to actually focus on the process and not the results, not the percentage basis. Again, another trade closed early, then look, so many trades where I closed early because I was afraid. Like come on, bro, like this is, are you serious? Like look at this, why would it close? You know what I mean? You just gotta go through it. This looks like it's working for now, but I just don't trust it. It's probably gonna end the stream soon. London session's open. It's open. What the fuck am I saying? It's done for me. So I'm probably gonna end the stream soon. This was, yeah, just a dog shit trade that I was waiting for a better entry. I just took it on the demo. I didn't like it. Gold is still retracing. We're still gonna wait for these setups for New York. They're all probably almost all of them. GG and gold is very likely gonna happen in New York, and DAX I'm not sure yet. So yeah, I mean no problem, bro. Like just know you're not alone. Just know that I went through this. I share the same pain with you. So don't be mad at yourself. It's just part of the journey, bro. You just gotta experience those things for you to learn. Don't be mad at yourself. Don't beat yourself up. It's just something that you need to learn. And the way we learn in trading is through pain. It's through pain. That's how we learn. So don't be mad at yourself. This is just part of the journey. Is you need to experience this pain for you to learn when to go break even, when to not go break even. I'm probably gonna stream New York also today. I'm probably gonna stream New York because we have a lot of setups that are very likely to happen in New York. So I'm gonna see New York, and yeah. Usually I stream London, but sometimes I stream New York as well. Yeah, man. Good job on the trade though. You should be proud of yourself because this trade was extremely good. So you should be proud of yourself for this trade, no matter what the result was. You had the idea right. You had the entry right. This break even is just a small detail that's gonna disappear with time. With time, you're gonna know that this is gonna happen. So you should pat yourself on the back because this trade was really good. So pat yourself on the back, no matter what the result was for the trade. And yeah, that's probably gonna be it for today, for my stream for London at least, and I'm gonna see you in New York. Thank you for being here. Thank you everyone for being here. I really appreciate you. I love you. And man, good job on this trade. This was really clean. Good job on this. And I'm gonna see you in New York. If you guys trade in New York, I'm gonna see you there.